Listen, you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, you know why we're here. Okay, but first, hello, nice to meet you. If you've not been here before, my name is Priyanka. I'm just a queer South Asian girly who's out here trying to live her most authentic, nerdy life. I talk about all of these things on my channel, and today we're obviously talking about anime. Now, before we jump into this tier list, let me tell you the ground rules. Let me set the vibe. Okay, firstly, I was like, I didn't want to put any yaoi or yuri in there because I was like, that would make this too easy. Okay, I'm here for the queer baiting animes, the animes that will, you know, lure you in and then be like, actually we're getting rid of the rainbow flag. And these are all just animes that like I watched or I loved, and I didn't want to talk on any animes that like I didn't remember enough about or haven't seen as many episodes of to make an opinion on. So that being said, it's time to rank. I'm actually quite proud of these tier names. Okay, so let's take a minute to examine them. For the S tier, we got Senpai. I'm actually gay in disguise because we all know some animes exist that just shouldn't be marketed as heterosexual. We'll get into it. Now, in the middle, for the B tier, we have baka. I can't say that word. I'm not saying it again. I'm not gay, but I might be bisexual. Now, as a bisexual girly myself, I was like, I don't want to erase the fact that sometimes things might not be gay, things might not be straight, okay? She might be in the middle. For C, we have, can you reevaluate your actions? Because I feel like if you're at that level as an anime, you're incredibly mid and you're doing everything wrong. Don't Talk to Me or Straight is pretty self-explanatory. Let's get into it. Starting strong, we have Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I put them separately because I consider them as two separate shows. Brotherhood, I feel like, is inherently a lot gayer. It just has so much more queer energy to it. I don't know if it's like the crisper animation or the fact that Armstrong just takes his shirt off more or the fact that Roy Mustang is shirtless more, but it's giving more gay than the first one. The first one gives more of a shonen vibe, but to be fair, I think that might also be just to do with like how the story is constructed. But I think Brotherhood is not queer enough to be fully queer, so she's mid. The first series is just too dark and too intense to even be considered queer remotely. Okay, guys, are you ready? It's time. It's time. Nana. There's absolutely no discussion. No discussion is needed. I recently got reminded of this scene. And after having watched that, you cannot tell me it is anything but okay. I find it so interesting how there's also been a Nana revival alongside a Chapel Rowan revival. Not revival. And the number of Chapel Rowan edits that I have seen of Nana, to classify it as anything other than this, I don't think this is a controversial opinion. Let's move on. Okay, now we have Yona of the Dawn, or Akatsuki no Yona, and my personal theory is that Yona is bisexual, okay? She's got too much of like, I was about to say personality, but that sounds really rude. Maybe. She's got so much personality, and the personality is giving bisexual. Okay, no, wait, I'm backtracking. I think Haku might be bisexual, because have you seen the way he sits? I was literally sitting like this before the video started. And all of the dragons are incredibly camp. You can't tell me that the green one, is it the green one, is not gay. All of the characters in it are bisexual. That's my final opinion. Let's move on. I included Fruits Basket in this, right? Because I was like, Fruits Basket was probably the anime that was the biggest letdown for me at the end. Please tell me why we had 2 seasons of setup and then everything happened in like the last 5 episodes of the season and none of it made sense. And none of it was referenced in the first 2 seasons. Okay, if you don't agree with me, you are what? Homophobic. Biphobic. Okay? I know there's obviously a lot of people who ship a lot of the characters, but I really don't feel like it's going either way. So she needs to reevaluate her actions for multiple reasons, as well as her lack of queerness. Kimi ni todoke. This is not even a discussion, to be honest. She is painfully straight. I do love her. I do love Kimi ni todoke. And I feel like there's so many reasons why it's such a good show. The fact that it's incredibly heterosexual is not one of them. Moving on. Ooh, okay. Now we have Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer as a whole is incredibly campy, and I feel like that's kind of why I like it as a shoujo girly, despite it being a shonen. Also, you can't tell me that my boy Zenitsu is not a little gay twink, okay? He's my G. I locked eyes with that man on the screen, and I was like, there's a twunk birth coming. Was I correct? Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen the last season yet. It's been a hard year, guys. Also, the Demon Man. I haven't seen Demon Slayer in a long time, so I'm talking about this guy. Gay. Gay. So gay. Everyone in this anime has such gay energy. Aside from the two main characters, who give painfully heterosexual. Therefore, she's bisexual. Oh, wotakoi! So wotakoi is very interesting because obviously there's a lot of shipping and a lot of yaoi baiting, I guess, of the two main guys. But is that enough to tip it into the other categories? I don't know. Because the whole vibe is very heterosexual. But I love it so much that I can't put it in the D category. It's a weirdly elastic thing, right? It's like they have moments, but then their like central point is heterosexual. But it's so iconic. Oh my god, guys. This hurts, but we must move on. Apothecary Diaries, I feel like it's not even a debate. It's not even controversial. Mao and Jinshi are both bisexual, and you can't tell me otherwise. I'm not expanding. Ouran, there's no explanation needed. Okay, our Haru ride, or Blue Spring ride, is very heterosexual. Our Haru ride is interesting because I feel like there's not enough going on in there to even consider whether or not it could be queer. Everyone's depressed, so we know which category it belongs in. Ooh, what was this one called? My Life, My Marriage, My Happy Marriage, The Happy Marriage, My Happy Marriage. The marriage one. I feel like it's also controversial to say this, but this anime was also mid. No, not even a little hint of queerness anywhere, okay? I feel like if you told either of the main characters about the concept of queerness, they would both die and get so embarrassed that they just explode, okay? Oh my god, Kaichou maid-sama is incredibly queer. Okay, Misaki is bisexual and you can't convince me otherwise. She was my hero and I am deeming her an honorary bisexual. And obviously we have this moment of queer baiting. I feel like it should be queer. Both of the characters are bi. I feel like Toradora is very heterosexual because once again, too much is going on to even contemplate queerness. But I feel like this girl, I forgot her name, she is gay. Also, I watched Toradora again the other day and I was like, this is so much worse than I remember it being, and as a short baddie myself, I really wanted to root for Tiger, but I was like, damn, she got some issues. Don't know what it says about me that I rooted for her, but anyways. Death Note, there is absolutely no discussion, okay? With the amount of tension between L and Light, there's nowhere else that this should go, okay? And the amount of tension between Ryu and everyone around him, that man is pansexual. Moving on. Kami-sama kiss. Everyone is camp, but they're not coming out the closet, and that's what I don't like about it. So she needs some time to reevaluate her actions, I think. Also, I feel like Nanami is just incredibly straight. No hint of gayness. What a sad life. I forgot I put Yuri on ice in here. Okay. No discussion needed. Moving on. Haikyuu. We need to discuss this. If you don't think haikyuu is gay, the tension between all the players. No one's coming out the closet though. And that's also what I don't like about it. The queer baiting. It absolutely is gay in disguise. No discussion needed on that one. Come on. Ooh, okay. Gekkan shoujo no nozaki-kun. Ooh, isn't there that character in this that dresses as a boy but is a girl? The rest of the show and the rest of the anime, I feel like no one cares enough to consider themselves gay. You know what I mean? Everyone's just out there being like, let's get this manga done. And so because it only has that one character, she needs to reevaluate her actions. Let's up the campness. Okay, we need that as a general baseline for anime. Paradise Kiss is gay and elite. George is bisexual. Everyone on that show is gay. Everyone on that show is into fashion. Everyone on that show is a fashion student. We need a separate tier for Paradise Kiss. Okay, it's not a disguise. It's not a disguise. Everyone is gay. And to be honest, in hindsight, probably too sexualized for an anime aimed at teenagers. Just had some war flashbacks. We're moving on. Oh my goodness. It's rant time. My love story with Yamada-kun, incredibly mid. He's hot. That's it. That's the only reason that the main character is attracted to him. And you know what that gives? Heterosexual. Does it? No, it does. Is the age gap giving queer? Or is that too much of a stereotype? No, I made my choice. We're moving on. Spy Family is an interesting one because I feel like when you think about it, it was one of the great queer philosophers, Trixie Mattel or Katya, that said, when you're gay, you're not even thinking about being gay. But if you're straight, you're thinking about being gay. But in this show, everyone's got so much going on. I feel like they don't even got time to evaluate their sexualities. They haven't got time to evaluate themselves. So it could be gay, but it's not quite there yet. Although I really want Anya to turn out to be bisexual with that pink hair. Girl, she's got to get it both ways. Romantic Killer does not get enough love, okay? It's one of my favorite animes of all time. It's so layered and complex. It's like Apothecary Diaries in that there's the fantastical element and there's the mystery element, but it's set in modern day, and the way they build up the story is so good, and there needs to be more of it, okay? That being said, it's so straight. Anzu is absolutely not straight though. She is bisexual. She's got the hair. She's got the vibes. She's not afraid to kick people's ass. She's got all of the hobbies and interests that the bisexuals would have. Come on. Does that mean the show is enough to get into the gay category? No. We need more. Princess Jellyfish I actually had to think about, because I was like, is it gay? Like, or is it just camp? And this is a very interesting question to think about in relation to media as well, but this isn't a deep video, so I'm not going to get into it. It is incredibly camp as a show. I feel like Jellyfish are inherently queer, but there's only one main character that's like actually camp, but because they're the driving force of the show, does that mean it's gay? I think in another world it is, but currently it is not. Black Butler, this again should go in the category of not in disguise and problematic and extremely problematic and queer. Problematic and queer could be its own category, and it should be for so many things. Komi Can't Communicate, I feel like should go on the opposite end in heterosexual and problematic, but I did love it. It was so cute, but there's not even a hint of gay. Literally, don't talk to me, you're straight. And there you have it, the definitive ranking of which animes are gayest. Do any other animes exist? No. Is this the definitive list? Absolutely. And again, if you say I'm wrong, I will accuse you of being biphobic and racist. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, and let me know if you want me to do more of this as well. If you would like to see more of this chaotic vibe YouTube thinks you might like this content here. And as always, I hope you're having a lovely day living your most authentic and nerdy life, and I will see you in the next video.